This face has two completely different personalities hiding inside it. For 1,500 years, it's been sitting in the same exact spot. And almost nobody ever talks about why that is. This is the oldest surviving image of Jesus. Full stop. We're talking 6th century, around 550 AD, painted on wood. And it's not sitting in some fancy museum somewhere. It's in the Egyptian desert, inside a 1,400-year-old monastery. The monastery of Saint Catherine, right on Mount Sinai. Still functioning today, still orthodox, still guarding this thing. Most historians believe it was painted in Constantinople back then, probably sent as an imperial gift to the monastery itself. The place was under Emperor Justinian's direct protection. But here's where things start getting really weird. Look at his face carefully. Like, really look at it. Something feels off about it, doesn't it? His eyes don't match. His eyebrows are totally different. And no, this isn't some amateur mistake or bad craftsmanship. Put a mirror down the center. You get two different faces, two different expressions, two completely different vibes altogether. And this was absolutely done on purpose by the artist. Now, before I explain why, you gotta understand something first. In Orthodox Christianity, an icon isn't just regular art. People literally pray in front of these, kiss them, light candles. It's considered a sacred presence, not just wall decoration. That's why folks make the sign of the cross before icons. For them, it's a way of encountering something divine. And because of that, icons follow super strict rules. The artist's personal style doesn't matter at all here. Christ's face, his gestures, his clothes, the gold background. Everything has to follow the traditional model, no exceptions. The icon transmits spiritual truth, not personal creativity, which makes this asymmetrical face even more fascinating. Right? This icon is called the Sinai icon, or Christ Pantocrator. Pantocrator comes from Greek, meaning Almighty, or Lord of all. That title tells you everything about how Jesus is shown here. But here's the thing that really blows my mind. This painting shouldn't even exist anymore. Honestly, a couple centuries after it was made, everything went sideways. Between the 8th and 9th centuries, Iconoclasm took over. The Byzantine Empire ordered the destruction of all religious images. Thousands of icons were burned, scraped off walls, completely erased. They wanted to wipe out anything that could lead to idolatry. But somehow, this one survived it all. The Sinai Monastery was so far out, so isolated from everything. It was completely removed from the center of that conflict. Plus, the area came under Muslim rule pretty early on, so it wasn't even part of the territory under destruction orders. While icons were being destroyed in Constantinople, monks kept praying. Same spot, same painting, same devotion for centuries. There's another reason this thing has lasted so incredibly well. It was made using a crazy rare technique called encaustic. You basically mix pigments with hot wax, apply it to wood. It's a method inherited from the ancient Greco-Roman world. Extremely difficult to master, but ridiculously resistant to time. When you look closely, you'd never guess it's 1,400 years old. It's better preserved than tons of paintings made centuries later. All right, let's get back to that asymmetrical face now, because this is where it gets really interesting. On the left side of Christ, he's holding a closed gospel. The expression on this half of his face is noticeably severe. The eyebrow drops down, the eye tightens, gaze gets intense. According to theologians, this side represents Christ as judge, the divine Christ who imposes order, who sees inside each person. Now flip to the other side and everything changes completely. Christ raises his hand in a gesture of blessing. The eye appears more open. The eyebrow sits more naturally. His whole expression feels calmer, more approachable, almost gentle. This side is said to represent Christ as Savior, the human Christ who understands and walks alongside his people. So judgment on one side, compassion on the other, same face, And here's the theological kicker that ties it all together. In Christianity, Jesus is fully human and fully divine simultaneously. Two natures united in a single being. No contradiction there. This painting might be communicating exactly that idea visually. Over the years, this icon has sparked all kinds of interpretations. Some folks believe the artist deliberately showed both natures of Christ. Not an accident, not aesthetic choice, but a theological statement. Divine judge on one side, human savior on the other, intentionally. But not everyone is buying that interpretation, honestly. Some scholars argue this reading came along much later, centuries after. They suggest the asymmetry could just be the style of that period, or maybe a quirk of the encaustic technique itself. Who knows? Some studies suggest certain details might not even be original anymore. So yeah, the debate is still very much alive today. And look, before anyone jumps into the comments about this isn't about claiming this shows what Jesus actually looked like. That's a whole different conversation. Nobody knows for sure. What's fascinating is what the image actually communicates. The visual language used, the mystery surrounding it for 1,500 years. So here's what I want to leave you with today. Do you think artists 1,500 years ago thought in such sophisticated terms? Could they encode two theological concepts into one asymmetrical face? 1,500 years, same spot, still watching us. Which side do you see first?